Good morning from Valley, everyone. It's Veda from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk about another Shakti power, and this power is the power of acceptance. Acceptance. So today, I thought I'd start with this quotation by Tracy, and it says, "The greatest gift you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance." Unconditional love and acceptance. And this is, of course, anyone who's got a pet knows that this is what we get from our pets, and certainly dogs are this way. I certainly had my experience with a beautiful, loving dog, and I also know this energy from beautiful, loving people too. I also know that we have this Shakti power, which has not been utilized and strengthened like a muscle in our bodies, this power of acceptance. And what we will see, and what you might be seeing and perhaps participating in, is this non-acceptance, the other direction, which is that is completely unacceptable to me. So we might hear this in terms of relationships, that the way this person is behaving is totally unacceptable. This could be friendships, or it could be romantic relationships. This is unacceptable. It could be as simple as one person is really messy and one person is really clean, and that's totally unacceptable to the other person, whichever side that they're on. The other is totally unacceptable. We certainly see this in politics, where we see lots of unacceptable mannerisms from one politician to another, from one country to another. We can see this in our countries, where one city, one province to another finds unacceptable what another is getting. So this sort of idea that we see that the unacceptable aspect of things is really noticed by people, and then really talked about and really written about and really shared. And this is something that we can all be aware of, that this is, again, a Shakti power. This power of acceptance, to accept things that as they are. And so one of the things that I thought I'd read to you is, of course, what inspires me the most are the Vedas. And it says here, the Veda says that as long as we do not accept life for what it is, as long as we try to control and change things, there will always be conflict. Conflict ends when we realize that beyond tangible material reality, there is an intangible spiritual reality. Intangible spiritual reality. I want to talk about this quotation a little bit to help explain this acceptance. This thing, the Veda says that as long as we do not accept life for what it is, I want you to know and bring to your mind this awareness of so many people say, well, it is what it is. It is what it is, and so I'm accepting it. It is what it is. And this is interesting because you see the mannerism that I said it, and you might have heard it from others this way, and you might be saying it yourself this way. This "it is what it is not really accepting. It's, well, I have to accept it. That's not acceptance. That is commenting on it with some judgment. That's not acceptance. So when we see things for what it is, so there's an acceptance about it. This is what it is. So not, this is how this person is behaving and I'm accepting that way. It's, this is how this person is behaving and I'm accepting. That is that person's journey, and I'm accepting that that's what is happening. When we see that things are changing in the world, we can say, oh, that's how that person is. I just said it in terms of a person. We can see this in terms of politics, as I mentioned. That's what's happening here, and that's what's happening here, and boy, that's so not right, and that's so not right. And if you've got a position of power where you're actually helping things change, then help things change. But to talk poorly about what is not helping things change. What we can see is that I have to still begin with myself. So whether you're a politician or whether you're a relationship with someone as a friendship or as a romantic relationship, if you are a person, if you're watching this video, recognize, where am I? Am I accepting? Because when I look at something and I'm not accepting, but I'm saying I'm accepting, and I say that, oh, people say that they're, okay with this or they're good with this. Are they? And then know where you are. That when something is not right, it's not right. And that acceptance of, I know this is not right. This is not right for my experience in terms of what I'm doing, in terms of what my energy contribution is. I intend to send loving and uplifting energy to whatever I see is perhaps not right around me. This is just a loving energy, and it's still with acceptance of what it is. If nothing changes in what we're looking at, can we accept it? Can we accept it? Can we be in a space of peace? Because these are Shakti powers. So what happens is, though we say we're accepting it, we're not trying to do anything but control or change. So even in a relationship, someone will say, well, until they change this behavior, I'm not accepting of it. Until this changes in the workplace, I'm not accepting of it. Until people give me the respect, I'm not accepting of it. What I can do is, am I giving people respect? Am I accepting the people around me? Am I actually fully using my divine energy, which is a Shakti power of acceptance? And this is a peaceful spot. This is not to say that I take on what they're doing, because that's just how the world is, and because everyone is cheating everyone else, and I'm cheating too because I'm just keeping up with what's happening in the world. That is falling into a lower vibration energy, and that's so easy. That's so easy for anyone to do. Any of us can fall into this space, and we can, into anything that we see that, well, people don't call each other, so I'm not going to call, because you know what, that's just how the world is. Everyone's too busy. Am I too busy to call people or to communicate with people, to send energy? Even this is a communication, only we will know it. And remember, if you're watching my videos, you will see that thought energy is the strongest, most powerful, because we do it the longest. We do it the most. And what is the thought that I sent out to this? If I sent it out with those rolled eyes of, oh, that's how it is, I'm not sending a lifting energy. I'm not sending a healing energy. I'm not sending an acceptance energy of, wow, no matter who's going through something, that is then coming out through that person or that experience or that town as something as not so good. I'm accepting that I have the energy to wish well for them. I have the energy to help them in some way. I have the energy to use divine grace through me, through you, to help whichever situation I'm looking at. Or I can choose not to look at it. Most people just withdraw and say, well, I'm not going to watch the news, which, I don't watch the news, yet I'm aware of it. It's hard not to know what's going on because it's all over in social media. Yet to accept our own role, that's the most important thing. This is, don't try to control or change things. Don't try to, okay, well, once it goes this way, then I'll be okay, then I can be accepting. It's, this is what it is. This is the power of now. This is in this moment. This is okay. I'm not trying to change anything. Let me just give peace, because that's who I am. I am helping be the best of me. That's all. And who I'm helping most is me. So when I've got peaceful thoughts, it helps my system, helps my mind, helps my body and my cells, helps my health, helps the health of people around me. And I just know this. And this is where these powers are most useful. Unless we're practicing them mindfully, we're not working with these powers. So let's try to work with these powers. Today I thought I'd finish with one more quotation to again remind you about what this means of acceptance. This is a quotation by someone named Teal Swan, and she says, to accept someone for who they are is to accept the reality of the other person. It is to recognize the reality of them, and as such, to stop trying to make them something different. It is not to embrace, like, approve of, agree with, put up with, be easygoing about, accommodate, and tolerate them, that reality about them. So it's not that. So in terms of, it's not to embrace. So this is what we see a lot. So it's not to embrace, like we see, whether we see LinkedIn, we see Facebook. I like that, I'm supporting you some way. So not to do that if we're not agreeing with it. It's not to embrace it, that, oh, this is so good, because when something is not good, it's not good. And it's not to agree with, oh yes, you're right, I'm going to agree with you because you're my best friend. Or I'm going to agree with you because I'm really attracted to you. These things, we don't talk about it, but people do this all the time. I'm agreeing with you right now because I want to get this from you, what's in it for me, but I don't agree with you. And that I know at the back of my mind. So there's that. There is this be easygoing about, oh, that's just how people are. And yet at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, boy, how are people? I'm not like that, thank goodness. And there's so much judgment. This is accommodating and tolerating. So it's okay that you're that way. If I really care about someone that's not doing something right, at least energetically, I wish them well. I wish them to have the peace, because when they're doing something that's not right, their own conscience is also aware of it. Like, maybe it's not the best that I could do, but it's the best in the situation. That's what I believe. What the person believes, they really do believe that. I can accept that. I don't accommodate it as, okay, in this space, this is not right. So I don't bring it into me that, okay, I make that okay. Because my best friend is doing it, because my husband is doing it, because my wife is doing it, because my neighbor is doing, because my boss is doing, whatever it is that we are accepting, we're not accommodating it into our art experience. We're realizing that this is not right, and we can still know that I can still accept this person for their experience and wish them the best. That's where I come from. That's where you come from. That is our true divine nature. This is our Shakti power. Today, I hope that you will think about the power of acceptance through Shakti and build this muscle, because unless we're actually practicing it, we're not being mindful of what we ourselves are doing, and we can make huge progress in the world in the directions that we'd like to move it into. As we move into this golden age, it is requiring this power of acceptance. I wish that for you and for all of us today and always. I wish you a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.